So, how many conversations are you having at once? Welcome to another edition of Monday Magic Moments. Hope you're well. It's been a couple of weeks since we've shared a Monday Magic Moment. So, let's get in and let's explore how many conversations are you actually having at once? So, as you know, I love language, I love communication, I love unpacking language patterns and language models, particularly what's going on in between our heads. As a performance coach, what happens is that we can get so stuck in our own heads and not understanding where those patterns and where those behaviors are coming from. So love the courageous conversations books, love disc and NLP and emotional intelligence. And I wanted to share one of the things that we're going through down the rabbit hole at the moment is an awesome book by Douglas Stone, Bruce Patton, and Sheila Heen. It's called Difficult Conversations. And one of the key takeaways so far is actually how many conversations we're having at once when we're having a one-to-one with communication piece with someone. There's actually three conversations that have been had within the one conversation. I know, right? It's quite an interesting process. Let's explore what those three are. Firstly, is well, what actually happened in this dialogue or past event? What are you actually talking about? So, what happened in the conversation? That's the first one. The second conversation is your feelings within the conversation. And what happens? What I see time and time again, we don't actually communicate our feelings because, oh, we've got to bottle them up. We've got to keep to the facts. But that's the second piece is your feelings, your emotional state is actually working. Yeah, that's another conversation having within a conversation. And the third part is your identity. So, what is this conversation actually telling you about you? What's the story that you're creating? What's the identity that you're having within you? And we'll unpack all those three key things. So, the first conversation that you're having is what actually happened. The second one is your feelings and what you're saying to yourself around and what are you feeling within that conversation. And the third one is your identity. What is this conversation actually telling you about you? What's that identity piece? One of the interesting things around that, particularly the first one, is we usually have our intention. What I find is most people's intention is from a good space. And so our intentions in conversation is, we want to help, we want to serve, we want to see how we can solve problems. However, what usually happens is when something doesn't go well, when we need to have these difficult or courageous conversations, we interpret that other person's intention is not of a good place. Example, oh, they're late. Oh, they're not respectful. Oh, that they don't respect my time or anyone else's time, or work colleagues' time, and they're a bad person, right? But if you're late, oh, I'm so sorry, but like you're coming from your perception is you're coming from a good intention, but if someone else does it, we have the interpretation that they're coming from a bad intention. So I just want you to look at that as you go out through this day and through this week. Yes, you come from a good intention, but also that other person is going to come from a good intention. And there's three ways that we can actually uncover this and actually be curious because when we actually uncover this and ask these questions and go a little bit deeper, we know that they're coming from a good intention. And so when we're coming from both from a good intention, then we can have these courageous conversations and get to a win-win outcome. So there's three things I'd love for you to do over this day and this week is firstly is to be curious, is to obviously to listen to what that person is saying and what they're expressing rather than actually coming with a rebuttal of a yeah, but the Kermit the Frog approach or having your own justification, is the second bit is to ask questions. So firstly is be curious, listen and really hear what they're trying to say. Second is to actually ask open-ended questions. And the third part is clarify the meaning of what they're actually saying. So it's all intertwined. The three things is to be curious, ask open-ended questions, and clarify the meaning. When we can actually under that, we can actually then see, feel, and hear the other person's intention around these courageous conversations. So there we go. Have some fun with it over this next week. We're going to explore these because it's such a powerful piece. Because when we can actually have these courageous conversations, it's such a huge impact on your day, your week, and your month. And where we don't run away from them. Because when we put our head in the sand, what usually happens is that they can build, and next minute we got that Mac truck. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye for now.